I ranked every single Mario Kart game, and I played them all in 1 week too. Things like do for YouTube. Every Nintendo franchise has their spin-off. Zelda's got a rhythm game, Pokemon's got a lot of bad ideas, but Mario? He said, screw platformers, let's go bowling. Also, tennis. And now I'm a race car driver. So today, I'm ranking all the Mario Kart games. You know the formula: a plumber, a banana, and war crimes. Starting off with the first Mario Kart game, Super Mario Kart. Fun fact, did you know this game was originally meant to be a multiplayer F-Zero game? Yeah, buddy, Nintendo sat down and went, what if we had F-Zero, but with friendship? Turns out, trying to get Captain Falcon and his buddies to share a screen was like asking Wario to pay taxes. It's impossible! F-Zero on the SNES was already super taxing on the system, and splitting that into 2 different screens to render 2 different gameplay feeds at the same time was damn near impossible, so I decided to go with Mario Kart, which would have these snaky lines and bends and didn't go as fast as F-Zero, so it was less taxing on the CPU. I don't think this game holds up particularly well. I mean, it does get points for basically being the pioneer of modern day kart racers, but then again, I don't know how many points being the pioneer of god-awful dog shit gets you. I know, some people may disagree with me here, but honestly, I think this game is kind of boring to play nowadays, and of course I say this as someone who never played the original while growing up, so it's not like I'm trying to undermine the impact this game had on the industry or how good it was back in 1992. It's just very meh to play now. The graphics haven't aged well, this whole SNES Mode 7 graphics thing of 2D sprites trying to replicate movement in a 3D space just messes with my brain. That sounds like a me problem. The game has 8 characters and an actually respectable 20-track lineup. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of surprised me. But yeah, I don't know if that's enough to save it from being kind of boring, honestly. Hey, I don't make the rules. Or maybe I do make them, since this is my video. Okay, that's enough. Like and subscribe if you want to see more rankings. At number 8, we have Mario Kart Super Circuit. Oh yeah, the Game Boy Advance one. Remember this one? No? That's fine, not even Nintendo does. It's a handheld game, so expectations are low. Like, the game turning on is a win, but it surprisingly holds up for a GBA racing game. Tons of tracks, and they brought back all the ones from the SNES version. It's definitely more enjoyable than Super Mario Kart, but still feels pretty archaic. I think it's an improved version of Super Mario Kart on the SNES with, in my opinion, better graphics. At least the whole Mode 7 pseudo 3D rendering looks less nauseating to me now. Fun fact, Mario Kart Super Circuit is the only Mario game to feature every single track from a previous Mario Kart game. It's like you opened a Happy Meal and found another smaller Happy Meal inside of it, except it's from 1992 and runs at 12 FPS. Oh, and the ketchup's expired too. The game also has less annoyingly designed obstacles in the courses and just sharper and more responsive driving controls in general. Not to mention, this game has 40 tracks! It's literally an enhanced version of Super Mario Kart that takes cues from Mario Kart 64, which came before it. But at the end of the day, that is just all it is, an enhanced Super Mario Kart. And while that does make it great for what it was at the time when it came out in 2001, I definitely wouldn't invite a bunch of friends over, secure a couple of Game Boy Advances, order a pizza, a pack of Purple Slups, and a Frosty Freezy Freeze just to play Mario Kart Super Circuit. At number 7, we have good old Double Dash. A lot of people like this one. I like it. It's Mario Kart, but I don't like it enough to put it any higher on this list. Fun fact, Mario Kart Double Dash is the only Mario Kart game where you can play as this guy, Paratrooper. This game was like Mario Kart on copious amounts of craft. 2 characters per kart, 1 drives, 1 throws bombs. It's like carpooling with a terrorist! It introduced 2 item slots, 2 character carts, as well as LAN multiplayer, because nothing screams normal childhood like hauling around 6 GameCubes and enough cables to strangle a fucking horse. I was pleasantly surprised by how good the game still felt. For me, this is the point where Mario Kart games started having that tighter and really balanced driving feel that most other kart racers today can't seem to nail nowadays. That just goes to show you how ahead of the times Mario Kart games were. Now, this is just me strictly talking about how the karts feel to drive, by the way. I'm not saying this game is better than every modern day kart racer, but honestly, I just rather stick to 1 racer per track. I don't know, the whole Double Dash thingy isn't really my thing. And the track layouts can be a bit underwhelming sometimes. It's like, the tracks are way more detailed than 64, but then in my brain, the tracks being that detailed makes me expect a certain level of pizzazz when it comes to the layout, if that makes sense. I like this one, but not as much as I like the next entry. Number 6, Super Mario 64. Whoops. What if we just left common sense at home? Mario Kart 64. Polygonal graphics, baby. Now Mario has corners. Another fun fact, these aren't 3D characters. They are pre-rendered 2D sprites like in Donkey Kong Country on the SNES. Thought you were playing in 3D? Nah, buddy. You've been racing cardboard cutouts of Mario this whole time. Turns out, Mario Kart 64 is just Paper Mario F1 Edition. This game added 4-player multiplayer to the Mario Kart series. The tracks were bigger, the items were more brutal, and the blue shell made its terrifying debut. If I had a nickel for every time a blue shell stole my win on Rainbow Road, I could almost afford therapy for the trauma this game caused me within the past week. This game is a big jump in quality from the previous Super Mario Kart. But I'm not going too crazy over the drift mechanics in this game. I will say though, it was an absolutely colossal leap graphically from Super Mario Kart. Mostly because it was the first Mario Kart game to play in, say it with me, 3D. As well as introducing a host of other features like 4-player racing, mini turbos to more easily execute drift boosts, the ability to hold bananas and shells to defend against other items, and even though the roster didn't grow from a meager 8, and the track list still remains at 20 tracks, the gameplay is so vastly improved that it doesn't even matter, and to be honest, I personally don't really care that much about roster and kart racing. Like, I don't know if that's crazy to say or not, but 50% of the time in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I ended up just picking Mario or Link anyway. You can me now. I'd much rather just have a game focused on the tracks, the karts, and how the karts feel instead of characters I'm looking at you, Mario Kart World. But coming in at number 5, we have Mario Kart Wii, the chaotic one. This was the first Mario Kart game to add motorcycles, so now you could pop wheelies and pretend you were playing Mario Road Rash Edition. I mean, the game was pretty violent too. Another fun fact, Mario Kart Wii was supposed to have a mission mode, like Mario Kart DS. Instead, that was scrapped for some reason, and we got Mario Kart Channel. Honestly, I don't think you want to hear my reaction to that fact. Karts were basically baby mode as soon as this game came out. Bikes were grittier, leaner, meaner, and scientifically proven to cause controllers snapping rage, because the drifting for bikes was ever so slightly complicated. Mario Kart Wii is a great game despite its god-awful piss filter that made the game look muddy and, in my opinion, worse than Double Dash. Maybe like a gas button. One thing about this game, it doesn't really do anything to make it stand out from the others. It almost kind of feels like vanilla Mario Kart, but that means it is pretty good. Maybe kind of boring in retrospect, but very, very balanced when it comes to all the things that make a good kart racer. If this was 2012, I would have put this game at number 1 because motion controls equal future in my teeny weeny brain back then. Also, this game definitely has one of the strongest rubber band mechanics in the series, with items flying around more frequently than usual. It's kind of annoying honestly because it does feel less skill-based than Mario Kart usually is, but hey, we're playing fucking Mario Kart here. So where the fuck do I get the balls to be complaining about the game not being skill-based? Number 4 is Mario Kart DS. If there's one thing I love more than driving in circles while throwing turtle shells at a tie-wearing monkey, it's doing all that on a 2-inch screen with arthritis-inducing controls. In 2005, Mario Kart DS hit shelves just as kids were transitioning from Pokemon obsession to internet rage monsters. And good old Nintendo said, what if we let them play Mario Kart online? For the first time. Fun fact, Mario Kart DS actually has unused online voice chat code hidden in its files. Nintendo initially planned to implement online communication but scrapped it due to hardware limitations. Also concerns about moderation. They didn't want y'all fuckers saying shit on there. It's a Mario Kart game, even though you can do that now in Mario Kart World. And this was back in 2005, so you know this would have been the first Mario Kart game to be rated M for muffled racial slurs and gum chewing. Mario Kart DS is so good. I know it's on the DS and the graphics are very redacted, but I think the driving in this game feels tighter and even more polished than Double Dash. I also don't know why this guy was in the game. Robot. But hey, you wanna know what I do know? Mission mode was pretty damn cool. It kinda seems like a predecessor to Mario Kart World's P-Switch missions. Great game! I feel like that was a pretty short section, but I got hungry during the Mario Kart DS section, so I stopped. Oh boy, now we're in the top 3. Number 3, Mario Kart 7, aka randomly named the 7th entry in the series like anyone was keeping count. This was my first ever Mario Kart game, my first ever 3DS game, and even though I had a PS3 at the time, I sunk in so many goddamn hours into this game. Like Mario Kart Wii, I do think this game also feels kind of like vanilla Mario Kart, but better, for sure. For starters, there is no piss filter. and even though it's on the 3DS, I just think there's something so charming about the visuals of this game. The 3D effect is also pretty cool if you play this game on an actual 3DS. The game introduced gliding, underwater sections, car customizations, and reintroduced coins into the series. It also introduced the first-person mode with gyro controls, but I'm gonna assume most of the people watching this video are clinically sane, so I'm not even gonna talk about that. I was genuinely surprised by how good the driving in this game feels. To me, the controls genuinely feel closer to Mario Kart 8 than they do Mario Kart Wii. And this game came out on a handheld in 2011! This one's a banger. Here's another fun fact for you, one that's not so obscure. Nintendo actually outsourced development for Mario Kart 7, which is really rare for Nintendo to do for most of their big IPs. The game was being really rushed. The developers of Nintendo EPD were on a time crunch. They needed to finish this game fast. So they decided to bring in trusted Donkey Kong Country developers, Rare, to help finish up the game. Number 2 is the shiny new Mario Kart World. See, Mario Kart World is the perfect hypothetical, a globe-trotting kart game where each track is based on real-life environments. Sorta. With a huge world map and large playable transitional stages leading to the next track, it sounds brilliant! But hypotheticals don't always equal real-world results. Take a look at me. Look, I don't think anyone out here is saying Mario Kart World isn't a good game. It's fucking number 2 on my list, and I fucking love Mario Kart. It's just, a lot of people think it could have been better, coming right after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and especially being the premier Nintendo Switch 2 game. I say I kinda agree. Like, if you think this is the most amazing thing ever, you think it's better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, sure, knock yourself out, buddy. But I personally think it's a bit less impressive than 8 Deluxe, which again isn't all that surprising because how much can you improve on something that's already been pretty much nailed? I appreciate them for going in a new direction, I just don't know if that's the best direction. The whole open world thingy gets boring real quick, I'm not gonna lie. But don't get me wrong, don't you do it! The actual gameplay is amazing and honestly does feel a bit better than Mario Kart 8 when it comes to the actual driving and controls, because you do have new options like wall driving, rail grinding, and the forward jumps. But apart from that, I think the track design is definitely more underwhelming. They feel a bit too wide. 24 players feel too chaotic, and the weird change to the Grand Prix formula when playing online is just so confusing. It's an amazing game. It's Mario Kart. I just don't think it hit that same peak that our number 1 entry did. Fun fact about this game is that it was originally meant to be a Switch 1 game and was in development for 8 years. And that's a pretty long time. Apparently, when the game was being developed for Nintendo Switch, it was pretty difficult to incorporate everything you wanted to. So they ended up being super conscious about things they were giving up in return. They discussed things like toning down the visuals, lowering the resolution, and get this, even considered dropping the frame rate to 30 FPS. If they ever did this, I would kill myself. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You think racing upside down would feel wild? But no. Oh, no. Half the time, you don't even notice the damn thing is happening. But goddamn, this is the pinnacle of kart racing games. Dare I say, even the pinnacle of racing games in general. There, I said it. I mean, what more can you say about this game that hasn't already been said before? Even though this game is just a deluxe version of the original Wii U game, I'm not gonna rank them separately. They're the same damn game. The Switch version just comes with more quality of life updates. This is also probably the biggest jump graphically in a Mario Kart game, except maybe from Mario Kart 64, with that being the first 3D Mario Kart. The track design here is phenomenal. I don't think any other Mario Kart game's on the level of 8 when it comes to tracks. Not even World. Sure, the anti-gravity isn't always noticeably upside down, but when you play tracks like Dragon Driftway, you gotta admit, it does make way for more extremely unique track designs. This is, in my opinion, how many times have I said that phrase today? Literally the perfect kart racer, and I don't think there's anything I'd change about this game. I mean, sure, the visuals could definitely be a bit better nowadays, but come on, this is a 2017 Switch game that's really just an enhanced port of a 2014 Wii U game. But everything else in this game is perfect. And for the last fun fact, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had an extreme difficulty mode. Something maybe even faster than 200cc. I don't know for sure. This was apparently called Expert Difficulty and was left out of the final game. Now this may just have been a placeholder name for 200cc. I don't know. But it is interesting to wonder how fast the game would be even beyond 200cc. I definitely wouldn't play that mode. So, congratulations, you sucker bunny. You've come to the end of my video. If you're a fucking geek, you may have noticed that I didn't talk about Mario Kart Tour or Mario Kart Live. Well, that's because
just look at these things. They're not real.
Look, I know Live Circuit is a console game, but it's a mixed reality game for God's sake. I don't think it would be fair ranking these games with the mainline console games, just because the console games are clearly higher budget games with different control schemes or gameplay mechanics, so it just wouldn't work. Fuck you! But if you like the video, don't fuck you. Leave a like and comment where your thoughts are on this list. Maybe what you think the best Mario Kart game is. Subscribe. See you next time.